Hi, welcome to Seeking to Remain. This is the YouTube channel where we look at the Sunday Gospel and consider how God's talking to us. We share some of the thoughts that the Holy Spirit has shared with me as I've reflected upon it, and hopefully it helps to bring this gospel story a little bit more alive as you prepare to hear it and receive it on Sunday. We had quite the week, and this video is late coming out. I'm not sure when I'll get it posted. It's already Friday. Usually this is recorded, edited, posted, done at this point in time. So today or tomorrow, hopefully I'll get this out to you. We had a minor ant infestation. We started homeschooling this week, and it's been a lot. It's been a week. But these videos are important. This is something that I still feel like, even in the midst of everything we've had going on, this is something I'm still supposed to do. So I've found a couple quiet minutes this morning. We just pretty much finished all of our homeschool for the day, and everyone is peaceful. So if there's like a giant cut and different angles going on halfway through this, it's because I had to stop and start again later in the day. So we'll see how far we get. But this weekend is the Feast of the Transfiguration of the Lord. And I wanted to talk about the characters involved. So our gospel opens with Jesus took Peter, James, and his brother John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. It's interesting. Jesus chooses 12 apostles, but for this moment, he only takes 3. And traditionally, some of the theories about why Jesus perhaps chose Peter, James, and John specifically are because Peter, the rock upon whom the church is built, Peter needed to see where this was going in order to be that effective, charismatic leader that Jesus was calling him to be, that maybe was something a little outside of his comfort zone, or just to be able to stand firm in the face of everything that was going to come. Peter needed to know. James is the first martyr of the apostles. And so to have him be able to witness this glory and to witness a glimpse of who Jesus really, really, truly was, to give him the strength in those awful moments to be able to say, yes, I believe. You can't take this away from me. And then John, who is called the beloved disciple. Maybe Jesus had favorites. I don't really think Jesus necessarily had favorites per se, but he was the youngest. There was some kind of extra special connection between Jesus and John. And John, not only does he write a gospel, he also writes Revelation. And in a way that's almost as hard, he's the oldest, or he's not the oldest, he's the youngest. He lives the longest. He lives to be the oldest of the apostles. He has to go through each one as they are martyred, and he is continually left behind. And so to have the stamina to go through his whole life, watching his friends one by one die for this cause, for this truth, and to stay firm in it. So these are our 3 disciples that come with. But what about all the others? You have to kind of wonder, how were they feeling? Were they feeling left out? Did they feel jealous? Did they feel less than, that they weren't given this special privilege? Jesus says on his way down to not say anything. So here he goes, he takes these 3, and they all come back down, and then they say, I can't talk about it. Sorry, guys. It wasn't for you. And still they stayed. But it's good to place ourselves in both sets of disciples' shoes. There are times in our lives when we get called up to the mountain. when we get to see something good, something beautiful, something true, something that God is sharing with us that's meant to sustain us, to lift us up, and to help us go on. But there's other times when we don't get to go up the mountain, but we have to watch someone else. And that can be hard too, to not get to see what someone else has seen. To know that right now there's good and beautiful and true things working in someone else's life, which doesn't negate what's working in our life. But from the outside, it might look like they're a special one, they're a chosen one. I'm left down here in the field, and they got to go on retreat, on a pilgrimage. They see everything in their life falling into place from where I'm sitting. What about me? What about me? So, as we think about the Transfiguration this week, maybe take some time and recognize those mountain moments that you've had. And they're not all moments of incredible transfiguration. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing? But not everyone gets to see Jesus revealed in his full glory the way some of the saints have had. But that doesn't mean he's not talking to you. And that doesn't mean he hasn't been revealed to you in special moments and intimate ways. Maybe it's through another person, through a sunrise, through a quiet walk. He's reaching out to you. And then also take some time and sit in that uncomfortable place where you've been jealous of what someone else has. Right now in this season of life, you can't go for a quiet walk. That would be me. Or at least it's really difficult to do and take the time to do. But I would really like to be able to do it sometime. But that doesn't mean I'm not being spoken to, and that doesn't mean I'm not cherished, and that doesn't mean that God isn't working for me. Right now, I just need to find my time with Him in other ways. St. Paul tells us that God works all things for our good. Whether He's taking us up to a mountain, or whether we're staying in our everyday ordinary, all things can be used for our good when we offer them to God, when we allow Him to work in our life. He can take even the awful things and use them in some way for good. But we have to trust in Him, and we have to trust and follow Him up the mountain when He leads us up, and we have to trust when we stay down below. I hope that next week I'm a little more timely with my videos. Hopefully I will be able to prioritize my time a little bit better. And yeah, I can't believe I got all of this recorded without somebody walking in on me. That was a small gift in and of itself. So thank you for sharing this time with me. I'm glad I was able to share it with you. Have a good week.